Okay, I told you when I can't sleep at night, I go through TikTok and I look at a lot of the recipes. Today we're going to try one of the recipes. I have been seeing this all over TikTok, and it happens to be something that I absolutely love and I do not allow myself to indulge in. And that is pretzel bites from Annie's. I love those buttery, salty little pretzel nubs. Love them. Well, TikTok says you can make them at home with a can of biscuits. I don't know the last time I have used a can of biscuits, but today we are going to. So I thought I would first go through what you're going to need for this recipe. This is the perfect time to do something like this because it's a great little hors d'oeuvre or just party tray to have during the holidays. I think it's perfect if it tastes good. If it tastes like, then it's not worth it. So we're going to give it a try. So you will need baking soda, and you need a 1/4 cup of it. You will need a pot of boiling water on the stove. We'll get to that in a minute. You are going to need some very coarse salt. This is very important, the coarse salt. You don't want regular salt. You need the coarse salt. I'm going to try something a little different today than what I have seen on TikTok. And I'm going to use some of the Flavor God. I'm going to do some of them salty. And then I'm going to do some in the buttery cinnamon roll, and the other is in the chocolate donut. We'll see how they taste. Why not? Can of Grand Biscuits. It's important that you get the Grand Biscuits. Now, I didn't know which flavor to get the buttermilk or the Southern recipe. So the Southern recipe is crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. So we just went with the Southern. If it doesn't turn out, we know to go to buttermilk. All right, you will also need a spoon, a slotted spoon. You will need a cookie sheet with either a parchment paper on it, or I have a silicone mat. I just use silicone mats all the time. A knife, and you will need some melted butter. Okay? It doesn't really give any measurements outside of the 1/4 cup of baking soda. Preheat your oven to 425, and we are going to get started. I don't even know how to open up a can of biscuits anymore, so I'm just going to start over here because I think it says start here, so I'm starting here. So I think you just do this. I really have not had a can of biscuits. We had them when we were young all the time, but we have not had a can of biscuits. I usually make keto biscuits for Louie. I think I need to get all this paper off, so let me do that. Okay, and I think you press with spoon until can opens. I thought you just went like this, and you do. Okay. All right, so we'll unroll our can of biscuits, plop them out. Make sure your hands are clean, okay? All right, so it says to just separate your biscuits. We're separating our biscuits. And I might do it a little bit different. I've seen it done a few ways. Some people just cut the biscuit in half, and then they cut it in 4s, and they kind of shape it, and they just put it on the tray. Okay, but it's not going to give you the perfect pretzel, so we'll do 4 like that. These feel like they have little chunks of something. My Southern friends or my biscuit users. Is that butter I feel? I don't know. Don't worry about how neat they go on the tray because you're only throwing them in the water. So now I'm going to roll this one because that's the way I see most people doing it. So you just roll the biscuit out, make sure it's perfectly even and shaped. And that looks about good to me. Can you see that? You can. And then you have to cut this in 4s. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you just place those on your tray. So I think that's actually the quickest way to do it. So we're going to go ahead and do it that way. So that's what I'm going to do, my friends. I'm going to roll this together. You got to kind of pinch it together. So we just pinch it so all the seams go together, and then we roll it out, make sure it's even. I like to pounce those ends in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some are going to be bigger than others. I can't help that. All right, I'm going to continue on with this, and we'll be right back. I think that is butter I see in there. All right, I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll meet you over at the stove. All right, here we are at the stove, and we have a pot of boiling water, and to it I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of baking soda. Now be careful when you do this because it does bubble up. All right, that's all we do. And now we are just going to drop our pretzels in for 30 seconds, kind of like a gnocchi. Looks like gnocchis. All right, and I'm just gonna put that many in right now for about 30 seconds. So you can see they start to float. I want to see it. Do they sink when you first put them in? Yes. Okay, so they start to float. So that's about 30 seconds. I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to take it out and place it on the silicone mat. Oh, they're blowing up. I think I'm letting them cook too long. 30 seconds is all you need, okay? So I'm going, oops, 30 seconds is all you need. Anything past 30 seconds, they blow up. Too big. Okay, so I'm going to do this quickly, 30 seconds, and I will be back and show you the next step. All right, so this is what they're looking like. They look a little disfigured. I have no idea how they're gonna bake up. We shall see. But anyway, next step is we take our melted butter and we put it all over the tops of our pretzels. So this is what we're going to do. And then I'm gonna put some salt on some, and then I'm gonna leave some unsalted so that I can roll them in sugar when they come out. But I'm going to put butter on all of them. Obviously, they're not going to be the same shape as Annie's. I don't know, maybe they'll bake up perfectly. Who knows? Like I said, I haven't dealt with a can of biscuits in a very long time, probably since I was a child. I'm probably putting way too much butter on here, but I like my pretzels buttery. All right, this could be a total flop, and if it is, I'm putting the video up anyway. I don't care. I want you to see how these turn out. Okay. So my oven has been heating to 425, and now I'm just going to sprinkle some of them with salt. Again, salt would be optional, how much you put on there. If you're somebody who doesn't like your pretzels salted, then of course you don't want it. But me, I love a good salt bomb. All right, so remember, very coarse salt you have to have, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle each pretzel with some salt. As much as you like, as little as you like. Me, I like a lot of salt on them. I like my pretzels either just salted by themselves, or I gotta get some more salt, or I like them dipped in mustard. I do not like them dipped in cheese. So if you do like them dipped in cheese, then while they're in the oven, take the opportunity to either crack open your favorite cheese sauce or make your own. All right, so I'm going to leave only a couple for the sweet stuff. These are probably too much salt on here, but that's all right. Okay, so here they are, all salted up. I left one roll unsalted so that I can make it a sweet pretzel. I'm going to put these in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes, and let's hope for the best, my friends. Let's hope for the best. All right, so the pretzel nubs are in the oven for at least 12 minutes. It says anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes at 425, but we never know. It all depends on how your oven actually heats up and cooks. So keep an eye on them because we don't want burnt pretzels. And the parchment paper and the silicone, they're very important. Just putting them on stainless steel might give you a burned bottom, and nobody wants a burned bottom pretzel, okay? All right, so in the meantime, get yourself a nice little platter. And I just have one of these little condiment holders, stainless steel. I'm going to put it on my plate. And then I have some French's mustard, and I'm just going to shake it up because you know it separates. And then that water comes out first, and we don't like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and squirt some mustard in the condiment cup. If you like cheese, you'll be putting cheese sauce in here. Okay, so I thought while the pretzel nubs are baking, I would go ahead and share a little tip with you to perhaps make your holiday table look a little bit better, or your hors d'oeuvre table, I should say, not your dinner table. Or maybe you're having a cocktail party and this is just something that might make your cocktail party look prettier. All right, so I don't know if I've ever mentioned, but many, many, many years ago, I was a bartender, and I was a really good one. I had a good memory. You walked in that door, I knew what you were drinking, and I don't know, I networked my bar. I networked it, made awesome money. I did. Anyway, This is not about what I did in my lifetime. Okay, so you're gonna get some cocktail napkins. Yeah, you can just go ahead and plop them on the table like that and put your plate next to them if you want. But why not make it look a little prettier? So, so get yourself a pack of holiday cocktail napkins. You want a full pack. Don't start with a half pack or something you had laying around from last year. Get a nice full pack, pretty. Now you're gonna take your fingers, I'm gonna turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. Put your finger, your thumb will be here on this side, the other thumb is on the other. This is what your fingers look like in the back. You're gonna do a twist, and then you'll take your finger and put it on the other corner, and you'll do the other corner. So now do a twist. And you've started like a fan. So now do 3. 1, 2, 3. And as you're doing it, you're pushing just slightly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can fan as much as you want. Now don't get carried away. But that looks so much prettier than just plopping them on the table. So then you would just set them down next to your platters, and it's more appealing. It's just prettier, it's more festive. It says, you know, I love you, welcome to my home. So that is just a little bartender tip for you to just how to make your napkins look a little prettier for the holidays or anytime. And you can keep spinning as much as you want. You can spiral that like a staircase if you want. And you just keep going. So then even picking up the napkin is much easier. And it's gonna be the talk of the party, let me tell you. They'll be like, how did you do that? And you'll be showing everybody how you did your napkins, okay? All right, so my pretzels, I did take a peek at them. They're looking like mutant pretzels. So I'm not sure that I did it right, but it's all about the taste, right? It's not necessarily about the way they look. It's the taste, okay? So I'll be back as soon as my pretzels are done. So mine took a full 18 minutes. And I will say that there's a couple of them on here that did not puff up and they look a little undercooked. So I do think that that baking soda and water really means something. I'll have to ask Louis what the baking soda and water, what he thinks it is doing to the actual biscuit. So some of them have salt. I'm going to let those cool down. But while the unsalted ones are warm, I'm going to take them and roll them in the flavor gods. So the first one I'm going to roll is the buttery cinnamon roll. And I'm just going to take one. This is what they look like on the bottom, the side, and the top. And I'm just going to roll that in the cinnamon sugar because I think Annie's, I've never gotten the cinnamon sugar one, but I do think that Annie's sells the sugary ones. Now this isn't sticking like normal sugar would, but it's good enough. So I'm going to let that cool down. I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to roll it in the Flavor God chocolate donut. It actually smells like a chocolate donut. So I'm going to, and you want to do this while they're warm. Now see, this one is sticking. Okay, so now we have a chocolate donut pretzel. You can see that one actually did really cover well. So I'll set that there to cool. See, this one here looks a little undercooked, so we're not going to do anything with that one. I'll take the next one and I'm going to put it in the sugar again, the cinnamon sugar. See if I can get that to stick a little better. It's sticking. It's just not coating like the chocolate did, but it is sticking, okay? So we have our cinnamon. Let me go ahead and taste this now. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like the cinnamon sugar. All right. Let me try it's not enough, not sweet enough. You have to remember the Flavor God doesn't have regular sugar in it, so it's not sweet enough. And I don't know what Annie's tastes. I still taste biscuit. I still taste biscuit. Okay, this is the chocolate. Neither one of them are rocking my world. Okay. All right, so let's try a salted one and see if I'm tasting pretzel or biscuit. It's actually good. I do taste the biscuit. The salt is nice. It could pass as a pretzel. So let me dip it in mustard now. That's actually very good. Very good. It's good in mustard as well. Very nice. So actually they do taste good. The shape doesn't really bother me that much. Not bad. Not bad. Let's have another one with mustard. Okay? The coarse salt makes a difference. Very good. I am going to try this again, but I'm going to try it with the original biscuit because maybe there's something about the recipe of the Southern that changes the way these turn out. So I will try them again using the original. So there you have it, my friends. I think this would be really a great little addition to your holiday parties or just movie night with your family. It's quick, it's easy, less expensive than Annie's, and they really do taste, I mean, they don't look exactly like Annie's pretzels, but they do taste good. And if you have a cheese sauce that you like, you can make that and dip them in that. You can eat them just plain. But remember, the coarse salt matters, and I guess boiling them in that baking soda makes a difference. So there you have it. Tik Tok knockoff Annie pretzel nubs. You know, if you have tried it, does it make a difference if you use the original recipe over the Southern recipe? I have another one of these Tik Tok recipes coming at you. It's, if it turns out, it would be a great Christmas morning breakfast. All right, my friends, let me know in the comments. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, I would love to have you as an Ageless Beauty, so on your way out, hit that subscribe button. The bell notifies you of all the videos that I'm putting up. Until the next time, my friends, you go out in the world and you be oh so lovable. And remember, I love you all. Bisous. I came back to tell you this. If you do like these, don't put this plate in front of yourself and eat the whole thing, because then you'll be eating a can of biscuits, and soon you'll be looking like a can of biscuits. All right, my friends? Portion control. Portion control.